If I have to hear the word unprecedented one more time, I'm going to lose it. I want to clarify that by doing this video, I am by no means trying to ignore or belittle the problems in our world today and the things that do require our attention and our help. I am by no means immune to what's going on right now as far as how it affects my mental health. I'm a pessimist through and through. It's easy for me to get wrapped up in everything bad happening because it just seems like a lot of it is happening all at once, more than I've ever at least remembered experiencing in my entire life, more than just my own personal life, but the world around us. And it's very easy to get caught up in that because that's all we hear about. An exercise that my therapist wanted me to do that I thought I would share with you guys, and maybe, I don't know, this will be beneficial for someone if it's not just for me, is to go through everything good happening right now and not just the cliche stuff that you might see on a Tumblr post like, oh, you know, there's smoothies and sunshine and flowers. Like, no, things that we can hold on to that are like, you know what, in a world of chaos, there's also this stuff. And if this stuff can exist in this world, that means there is good in the world, and it at least balances out. I will start off light though with something just kind of silly and fun that I saw that made me happy. Was a dog named August. She's a golden retriever and she just celebrated her 20th birthday with all of her old doggy friends. And I believe she's the oldest golden retriever in record history. So it's just makes me feel happy that perhaps our animals can start living longer and happy lives with us. Something else, again, more fun and lighthearted, is that 21 Pilots started a never-ending music video where fans across the globe can submit in little video snippets of themselves singing along to their song Level of Concern, and they put it in this live stream. You can go look it up. It's a live stream on YouTube, and it just continuously plays a song, and there's always new clips in it of different fans, which I think is really sweet. It's a fun way for fans to interact and feel like they're a part of something, and being able to see themselves on a live stream of a music video of their favorite band, I think is incredible. But the best part is that in the beginning, I don't know if they've fixed it since then, people sent in whatever they wanted. So they sent in that weird, like, robotic cat thing, and that's just hilarious to me that that played in the music video. Next is Malala Yousafzai, who recently graduated college. If you don't remember, she was 8 years old when the Taliban gunned her down, specifically shot her in the head, and she happened to survive, which is a miracle in and of itself. Well, she just graduated college. NASA recently renamed their DC headquarters after the Hidden Figure, you know, from like the movie, after Mary W. Jackson. She was the first Black woman engineer to work for NASA. Next, a man named Rob started a YouTube channel called Dad How Do I, and he goes through things that normally dads would teach their kids, but he grew up without a dad, and he had to teach all of this stuff to himself. So he decided during quarantine he had no more excuses, started a YouTube channel, and there's plenty of resources for things just as simple as changing your oil to repairing things around the house, and he kind of has become a dad figure for many people who have missed out on that growing up. The honeybee population is bouncing back. I know we're all worried about the bees all the time, but here's some good news. They're coming back. They had a harsh couple of winters, but this past winter was gentle, and their population is rising again. Thank you, bees. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you. Please don't sting me. I love you. From a distance. 9-year-old Cameron Johnson, along with 5 of her friends, sold friendship bracelets and raised almost $100,000 to donate to Black-owned businesses during times like this where they need it more than ever, specifically to businesses and food banks in Minneapolis. A woman named Christina Wong has started a sewing squad that has distributed over 55,000 masks to communities in need across the continental United States. After a 40-year project in New Zealand to protect the Black stilt, they're finally seeing the fruits of their labor. The population is up 30%. I know maybe it's not super important, but think about it, like a really cool bird, people really cared about it, and now here it is, it's doing better. The whole population up 30%. If we can band together and do that, what can't we do? Am I right, lads? A woman named Michelle Brenner has earned the title of Lasagna Lady. Since she got laid off during the COVID crisis, she has made over 1,200 pans of lasagna to give for free to those in need in her community. She doesn't take a day off. That's 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Lasagna. She's dropping food off to the fire department, to the hospital, and even to a prison. In the northern United States, 20 wolf cubs were born in zoos with wild packs. This was an effort to reintroduce the wolves back into the natural environment to help raise the population, and this has the highest rate of survival of any wolf reintroduction method. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this man's name. I believe it is Sean Dromgoole. If I'm wrong, I'm very sorry, but I know his first name is Sean, so I'm gonna call him Sean. He's an African-American man who's grown up in gentrified neighborhoods and has never really felt safe, but especially recently has not felt safe walking around outside around his neighborhood. So quarantine had him a little restless and he just wanted to take a walk around his neighborhood, wasn't feeling safe, and so he contacted one friend of his, and next thing he knows, 75 of his neighbors were waiting outside and they walked with him. 75 people joined him for a walk to keep him safe, make him feel less alone. All of them wore masks, social distance, whatever. 75 people cared about one man enough to leave whatever it was they were doing and go take a walk with him. Recently, the US approved plans to build the nation's largest solar project in the desert in 2022. This project, once completed, should offset the greenhouse emissions of at least 83,000 cars. That's annually, not just one time. That's about 384,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide. The New York Times recently reported that since people are trapped in their homes for quarantine for who knows how long, a lot of people are either adopting animals or simply fostering them, just getting them out of the shelters and into homes where people can love them and take care of them and be companions to them. The Eiffel Tower is reopening after the longest closure since World War II. That's pretty cool. I know, we want to get up in arms about the fact that America is far behind, but let's focus on the good. A lot of countries are reopening, things are getting better, things are being put in place to keep everyone safe, but slowly and surely we will find some semblance of normalcy, some life outside of COVID, quarantine, whatever. I don't know if this is necessarily good news, but it's definitely wild and interesting, and I love it. Researchers led by the University of Bradford have discovered 20 shafts, is what they're calling them, more than 32 feet in diameter, 16 feet deep, that form a circle more than 1.2 miles in diameter. Why is this important? It's because they encircle Stonehenge, something that has baffled scientists and just anyone who's ever heard of Stonehenge ever, and we don't know where it came from, baffles all of us. Why Stonehenge? Where did it? Anyway, they also found some new stuff around it that they believe was constructed at the same time as Stonehenge, so it's all connected somehow, and maybe this will get us some answers. Maybe we'll finally know why Stonehenge is the way it is. Why the heck is it so windy there all the time? That's what I want to know, honestly. Anyway, that's so neat. It's neat. Archaeologists have also recently mapped out an entire Roman city that was underground using scanning technology, and this could revolutionize our understanding of how these cities were built and how they worked. Also, the Amazon headquarters in India has put an end to single-use plastics in all of their packaging facilities. A bird named Onan, he's a cuckoo, he's just like a common bird. He took off from Mongolia last June, and no one expected him to make a 26,000 kilometer trip around southern Africa, but that little baby bird cruised over oceans. He made 27 border crossings in 16 countries. Does it matter? I don't know, but this is freaking cool. A bird just did that. That bird just Amelia Earharted bird world. A small community in Scotland recently bought up 10,000 acres for the sake of preserving the land, making it a nature reserve, just trying to prevent excess development in places that don't need it, preserve nature. And it was a community that came together to buy up this land to make sure that it stays, I don't know if sacred's the correct word, but maintaining the integrity of it. Protests are still going on, and I know that it weighs heavy on a lot of people right now because what the protests are about is a very heavy, dark topic. But think about it, they're still going. They have not stopped. Every day there's a protest in the United States, and it's thousands of people. It's not just 20 people here or there. It's thousands. People are not giving up. A man named Kenton Lee founded a company called The Shoe That Grows. It is quite literally a shoe that they donate to children in Africa who otherwise go without shoes, and that causes a lot of complications for them. They get chiggers in their feet and a lot of things. I've had friends who've gone overseas to help in medical camps for that specific issue, and also donating shoes. But it's a shoe that grows, so instead of just donating a pair of shoes and then the kid grows out of it in 2 weeks, it is literally a shoe that can continue to expand and be adjusted to grow at the kid's feet. Next, I reached out on Twitter and Instagram to see what you guys had to say. What are some good things happening in your lives lately? Even if it wasn't something incredible, or even if it didn't directly happen to you, just something good that made you smile or made you happy. So here are some entries from Instagram. From an account named Evie May. She said she got her sewing machine out for the first time in years. I think that's one of the positive sides of being at home, is a lot of us have picked up old hobbies or started new hobbies, and we're finding things that we had a passion for or reviving old passions. I'm never going to discredit that as something not worth celebrating. Heidi Marshmallow said that someone tipped her $50 extra on an art commission. First of all, if someone bought your art commission, that's incredible. But then someone just out of the kindness of their heart donated $50 extra as a tip? Oh my gosh. Like, people are still generous. People are still kind. People still care. Jenna Worsley said she's finally getting therapy. I will always celebrate that because that is very tough. Queen Bean, falling in love for the first time. I don't know what that's like, but that's to be celebrated, of course. Mixed Up Robot said, my family and I recovered from COVID. Wow. And they just got approved for a house. Sarah passed all her exams. God bless. You did it. That's tough. I don't know how I did it. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it, but still. Freaking good job on that. And Celine Lynn said, I took up martial arts after thinking I may never be able to again after having a surgery. Sick, dude. That's sick. Next is some submissions from Twitter. First one was just Candela. I don't know what your name is, but you got a puppy. It's cute. Mika started writing a book and it's really satisfying and I'm the most mentally healthy I've ever been in my life. That is phenomenal. My dear real life friend Steven said, someone I deeply care for and haven't seen in months saw me recently and shouted my name excitedly. That's pretty nice. That's the best feeling. Just someone you care about is like so excited to see you. Sam graduated high school. Snaps for Sam. Snaps, I know it's like the worst time to graduate high school, but you did it. You did it under like the worst possible circumstances. Congrats. I don't know what your name is, but your name on Twitter is who the heck knows, because I'm trying to keep my channel family friendly. Thank you. But you said, I'm starting to wake up and not feel gloomy. That's what I'm talking about. Depression who? We don't know her. I think your name is Grace, but your name on Twitter is just the cowboy emoji. You said I got approved for my first apartment, get to move in with some of my best friends since elementary school. Kaylin got engaged and it set a date for a wedding. Matt, you said that you're finally not homeless, and I didn't really understand what you said. And then you elaborated saying, I was going between friends' houses for a year trying to save up to live on my own. And this past month, I was finally able to rent a room and even get my own car. So I'm really happy. And these last two are not submissions from Twitter, but just two things I saw on Twitter while I was looking at y'all's submissions. And one is a young woman who I don't know her name because her name is just a flag on Twitter. She said, no, but I'm a girl whose family relied on free school meals, council housing, and breakfast clubs, etc. And now I'm a doctor. I'm freaking privileged as heck and I didn't do that. Get it, girl? Snaps. Snaps for my girl with the flag in her name. Snaps. Last Twitter thing, also something I found, not something that was sent to me, is from Rex Chapman's Twitter. This is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A guy who wanted to remain anonymous saw this young man walking to his workplace at Taco Casa week after week after week. So we bought him a car. I could have included so many stories that were like that, but I was trying to find like some interesting stuff, a variety, but so many things about like specifically about people buying other people's cars right now, like in a time where we all kind of need to be saving up as much as we can, and people are still being so generous and so heartfelt. And I know we want to focus on the bad and on the rich people who are hoarding their wealth, but they are so far outnumbered by generous people who give what they have, even if it's not that much. Remember that. Please remember that. The good outnumber the bad. These last few are more just personal things in my life that have made me happy or made me smile, that have given me just sort of any amount of serotonin whatsoever. First is the fact that my best friend from high school, she had moved away and we hadn't seen each other in 6 years. We recently hung out again. It's like no time has passed. We've hung out twice now, and we've both grown and changed as people, but at the same time, I didn't even realize it'd been that long since I hung out with her because it just feels like we're in high school again, but in a good way. For me, another thing is just the fact that humor still exists. I know memes can sort of desensitize us or kind of belittle issues, but a lot of the time, humor and laughing is a coping mechanism. And I've seen so many just funny things, people still making little skits or still just having fun with friends and family. There's still fun being had. I've seen people, even at protests, like twerking, still just finding something to smile about, something to laugh about. And if they can't find it, they make it up on their own. Also, Tabitha Brown on TikTok, she does this thing where she tells you that she loves you every day, and she has a really soothing voice.
Hello there. Been a long day, and I just wanted to come on here to remind you of something. Are you listening? Very good. I love you. In case nobody told you today.
She's like a woman you run into when you're crying, and she just sits you down and she gives you a talk and she gives you a little emotional boost. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go look her up on TikTok. She's just the most soothing presence I've ever encountered, and I've never even seen her in real life. I think if I were to meet her in real life, I think I would enter just some state of like calm, like Zen meditation, because I just, all anxiety, all sadness, fear just completely eradicated. So I did kind of lie. I do have one more Instagram response that I got, but I wanted to save it for last because it is for everyone, and it's from Pasta Sauce, and they just said, "I'm breathing." It is last, but it is of course not least. You're here, you're breathing, you're alive still. And the fact that you are still alive means that there's still hope for not just your life, but for the world around us. You're here, you've made it to the end of this video. Congrats. That's a good thing for me, is the fact that you watched all of this. You have breath in and out of your lungs. Your heart is beating, blood is coursing through your veins. You are alive and breathing, and that is a miracle in and of itself, that you woke up today, that I woke up today to make this video, that I am alive, that my heart beats on its own. Nothing is telling it to. There's really no signal from your brain. Your heart, we don't really know why it beats. Scientists don't really have an answer. I know it's silly coming from a YouTube video, but just think about that for a second. The fact that you are watching this means that you are alive, and the fact that you are alive, this is a fact, the fact that you are alive means that there is still hope. This is the end of the video. I of course want to reiterate that I am by no means trying to belittle or downplay anything that's going on right now, but like I said in the beginning, it's very easy to get overwhelmed with negativity when that's all we see. It feels like every day I wake up and the first thing I see is some horrible atrocity to humankind committed, or to animals or whatever. Just, it gets overwhelming, and I struggle to remember that for every bad thing, there is also a good thing. We can easily get very single track minded. I said that weird. We know bad things are happening, so we go looking for them because we want to stay up to date. We feel like if we miss 1 second of the day, then we're going to be behind and not know what's going on. I mean, it's not true. So we got to make sure that when we suss out something good, that we hold on to it for dear life. Thank you for watching this video. 1 like is $1 to pay my therapist for giving me this idea. Hi, I'm a big dum-dum, and I remembered immediately after I stopped filming that I wanted to say this. So please leave a comment of something good that's happened to you. Please don't fill the comments with a bunch of like negative stuff. I know it's easy to complain. I love complaining. It's my favorite thing to do. It's one thing that I'm very good at. But there are so many other good things I didn't mention, so go ahead and go after me in the comments, roast me, be like, Olivia, how did you not know about this good thing, this good thing, whatever. I know I didn't cover everything going on, so go ahead, have at it, let me have it, let's go. You know the drill, subscribe, whatever. Also check down below for links for my Twitch channel. I stream pretty much every other night or so, and also a link to Patreon down below. There's an exclusive Discord where I get to interact with you guys kind of one-on-one, and people have made friends in there, and I love watching them take care of each other when I have to like step away for a little bit. We play Animal Crossing together, and they also get access to bonus content or to the videos, you know, a day early or so, which is why you see comments that are always earlier than when I publish it. Stop asking that question. I've answered it so many times. Patreon's over a year old. I've answered that question for a year now. Also, of course, my social media is linked down below, but since no one ever like clicks that, here it is on the screen. If you want to follow me, you can. That's how you can stay up to date as to when I post, because YouTube notifications are basically non-existent. I guess one last good thing is that I am supported by whoever you are. If you are one of my subscribers, Patreoners, followers, whatever, if you care at all about my videos, I'm thankful for you, and that's one more good thing for me to hold on to. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I put my foot in my mouth again.